From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Like Northway Bank on Facebook, and they'll donate $1 up to the first 1,000 to the New Hampshire Food Bank. Visit facebook.com/Northway Bank today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Here's the news. A Superior Court jury in Ossipee has found a 50-year-old Conway man guilty of operating a drug den out of his home on Prospect Road. Assistant Carroll County Attorney Stephen Murray says after 4 days of testimony, the 12-person jury deliberated for just more than one full day before returning a guilty verdict late Monday afternoon against John E. O'Hannison of 101 Prospect Road. Murray says he's pleased with the verdict and that the jury found O'Hannison guilty of the felony charge of maintaining a common nuisance for allowing the use of illegal drugs. The prosecutor adds the conviction reflects the evidence and successful investigation by the Conway Police Department and the assistance of the Field Services Division of the New Hampshire Department of Corrections.
The standard penalty for this charge is 7 years in the state prison, and you would be eligible for parole after 3.5 years if you receive the maximum sentence. Given the fact that it occurred while it's on bail, there's an additional 3.5 to 7 penalty, so the maximum penalty you could receive at sentencing is 7 to 14 years in the state prison.
O'Hannison is being held at the Carroll County Jail pending his sentencing. In unrelated cases, he was acquitted in November on one felony count of aggravated sexual assault, but is scheduled to be tried in May on 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault, where he's accused of allegedly improperly touching or performing a sex act on a child less than 13 years old. A Wakefield fire lieutenant says a passing freight train throwing off pieces of hot carbon ignited dry leaves near the tracks Tuesday afternoon, causing at least 3 separate brush fires. Steve Pecci says Wakefield Fire and Rescue responded shortly after 3 o'clock, initially to a fire reported to be at Route 16 and Pine River Road.
On Route 16, just below the tracks, we found the fire going probably a 50 by 50 area. As we were responding to the other call on Old Farm Road, we found about 3 or 4 more fires out there that were burning. Probably just under an acre of fire, and then we found another one over by Grilly Tracks.
Wakefield Police Lieutenant Mark O'Brien says separate fires were spread out over an area of more than 5 miles. He says it took quite an effort to locate all of them and position fire trucks to put them out. The freight train of about 20 cars was moving southbound out of Ossipee after a stop at a sand and gravel yard. Firefighters were at the scene for about 2 hours. No one was hurt. Fire departments from Ossipee and Wolfboro assisted. In Maine news, town leaders in Freiburg want to turn off and remove more than 24 streetlights around town and are holding a public meeting tonight to take comments on the idea. Town manager Sharon Jackson says it costs more than $24,000 a year to operate the 163 streetlights in town. After conducting a survey of the lights, selectmen are now proposing to save nearly $2,900 a year by eliminating 28 of them. Lights that have been designated as not needed are tagged and were selected because there are other lights nearby. Citizens can adopt the light and pay for it themselves if the final decision is made to shut it down. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock at the American Legion Hall on Bradley Street. In the weather today, mostly sunny, highs in the lower 80s, light winds, partly cloudy tonight, lows in the lower 40s, and mostly sunny Friday, much cooler with highs in the upper 50s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.